You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame.
Oh, you know what?
Never change, never change. You break your back to make me feel again.
I think that's why that was happening.
Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption.
Yeah, I think so. It was audio monitoring. Alright guys, we're back for day 4. This white thinks my bit rate is too high. It's literally at 6,000. And we're back for day 4 of this. And it's still working on the Reddit website. I may start to use AI a bit to help me unstuck so I can make faster progress on this. There are some other things I want to do, but thank you for those guys who have been tuning in. Probably stream a bit later tonight. I should have streamed earlier today, but I was being very productive. I was watching a bunch of disc golf and also League of Legends, LCS. I don't know, maybe I'll play some Elden Ring at the end of this, but right now what we're trying to do is randomly generate problem numbers and also do CSS, which I hate CSS. But you know, it is what it is. So I need to move this input box back to the center. That works. Let's do 10px auto. Left and right. I'll be here. 4 plus 52. is because the margin over here, yeah. So realistically, what we actually need is its top. I don't know why this thing isn't letting me type in here. It's top right, bottom left. So we need 10 top. Auto on the right. 10 on the bottom. And 0 on the left. No, that does not work actually. This is all margin, this community here. Maybe we just have top and bottom. So top. We have right margin. Is it top right, bottom left? Yeah, it's top right, bottom left. Dude, this is so annoying. Let me type. Hit the wrong key. Okay, so this is stuff I do not want to figure out, to be honest with you. Figure out how the CSS is working. Darn this. Because I can't use images in anti-gravity CLI. It's the efficient way to do this. I want to do that. Let me do. Surprised that didn't work. This thing even access my WSL. Does unfortunate. Can I just don't want to like something that could take images for me. I think OpenCode can do that, but I don't want to pay for OpenCode again. I do not care, honey. Seems to be a program. So just include instructions would be really useful. Not sure if it's just obsession. Yeah, that is it. Yeah, I don't know why my fans are running so crazy when I have GCC running. It's insane. You know, waiting authentication, like. Strip not even working. Hey, I'm not wasting time for this. that could actually work. So, wait, actually, can I do? I think this would work because it's essentially VS Code. So, yeah, I've got to try and fix this. It's so much noise. Let's see if that is more bearable. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to remove GCC again. The current project, Mr. Timmy Turner 2941. Thanks for tuning in. I'm currently making a multiplayer version of this website called ZeniMac. It's a website where you can play a little math game to solve math problems. So I'm remaking this. It's kind of for my own learning experience. Kyprix, what's good, man? Thanks for tuning in. Nothing much, man. I'm streaming pretty late today. Fortunately, because I pretty much didn't do much today. I was kind of reined in, to be honest with you. I was raining a lot in Abilene today. So, pretty late, but I'm in a pretty good mood. Have some coffee. I'll probably be streaming for quite a bit. How you been doing, man? How's everything going over there? That's the current project, Mr. Timmy. Is actually so garbage, man. I'm actually debating just paying for like Claude at this point, because all the other solutions are terrible. Like, where is it getting? Skills from, it's insane. So garbage. I'm assuming these are coming from. Oh, way more skills than that though. Okay. It's not what I meant to clone at all. What? Supposed to have it. Why does it not have it? So they're right there. Learning. No match results. People that make these softwares, man, just not good at all. It would be I literally have the skill where it's supposed to be, and it's not showing up. Not even most mark skills are showing up. Poor, really poor here for Google. Guess it should be expected. still does not work. Android app with someone for sunset forecasting. That's very interesting. Why going for sunsets? Oh, okay. Actually, does make sense. I guess you're trying to predict like maybe a really good looking sunset. Yes, unfortunately, I'm on anti-gravity right now because I don't have my open code sub, and Google's been giving me free AI for like 2 years now, ever since I've been in school. I did not pick it over Claude or open code. I just have Google AI Pro from being a student. So, access token is password. I'm not sure you knew that. Yes, that's why I'm unfortunate on this, but it's taking me off at the moment. I'm honestly wasting time on this. Yeah, I would not advise anybody to invest into this absolutely piece of garbage software. Let me just figure this out on my own. It'd be easier. I think the problem is this left margin. Or maybe it's not the left margin. I didn't even change. Can I change it? That's not what I want to do. Alright, so yeah, it's not the left margin. I think we need to do... No, that's not what we need to do either. They're already in the flex box, aren't they? Yeah. Hey, let's just turn off the margin here. I think I already tried this. Oh, okay, that actually doesn't work. Well, I hadn't tried center. Okay, it's almost perfect. Need a margin of 10 pixels on the top bottom. Yeah. There we go. That's actually... Wow, I was wasting all this time trying to get AI to work for me when I can just do it myself. Significantly easier. So we're going to send the resizing for use with the web view. Are you just talking about the web view in general? Is web view some sort of technology? I assume you're just talking about the HTML website, because I've never heard of anything. Or, oh, web view API reference. View displays web page. I've never coded Android before. Oh, okay, interesting. Web view objects let you display web content as a part of your activity layout. That's very interesting. Embed web pages in a specifically designed environment for your app. We needed to start this. Well, great learning experience, I suppose. It's a pretty cool project, actually. Damn, this page is long. Man, there's a lot in this API. That's insane. I've heard app developers in general, whether iOS or Android, get paid pretty well. So I assume it's fairly difficult. Yeah, props to that, man. Good luck on that works. But yeah, CSS in general, any sort of styling, to me is extremely difficult for some reason. They're not difficult, just annoying. You read all of that? Yeah, that's insane, bro. Absolutely goated. This is like, what many characters are in this page? It's probably a lot. I don't think I've read any. I really never read entire documentation pages. I typically try and find what I'm looking for on Google or something. I guess I did read like I had to upgrade some technology at my work to Pina from using Vuex, which is the store library in Vue, which is basically just a cache. I did read most of all of this guy's documentation, but most of the pages are pretty short. I have to admit, it's pretty well written. It's not very hard technology to learn. But yeah, typically I don't read all of the API documentation, especially not something this long. You would not catch it reading all this. But props to you for doing that. You probably understand it much better now. Okay, so now I've forgotten the code that I wrote to make this work. Okay. Okay, margin 2. Okay, thankfully it's still there. Then I don't. Okay, I don't think we changed anything here. I think just here we did justify content center. There we go. So that's finally working. The seconds counting down. We have a place to put the problems. So now we need to randomly generate problems. So I think we don't need this anymore. We need to do JavaScript. So random generating numbers was not going to be that hard. And simple should not be that hard either. I think I should just create like a array here. Just have I would have to read the strings. Because you probably want to calculate the answer and just send that to the front end, so it doesn't have to do any calculation when we have an actual backend setup, which we don't have right now. I don't think this is a very good idea, actually. I don't think I want to be reading the values from strings. Let's just do the generation first. Come. That's for control. You don't even know what that does. And give him. Set the max value to 100 right now. And we're just going to, just for testing, do document. D. I stuck at 50 XP. I want to be top fan. Okay, that's YouTube chat, right? I don't know what YouTube is doing with their live streaming stuff. I'm pretty sure it's all broken. I also have had that experience before on like different live streams I've watched. I'll be stuck at like 150 XP. That's all good. You have to go. But yeah, I don't know if there's any. I don't think there's. I don't know of any fix for that. I don't know how that works at all, but I think it's broken probably. Serious Google. Yeah, that's not cool, man. You don't have to come up with these streams at all. Really. No, I stream in weird times. Yeah, I don't know. My entire YouTube algorithm is broken right now. Like I literally get the same videos recommended to me like all the time. Doesn't matter if I do not recommend it or recommend it at all. Yeah, I don't know. I think YouTube is garbage. If I'm being entirely honest with you, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying I can do any better. I'm just saying it's garbage. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, it's not only that, there's so much software used nowadays that's not very good. Twitter is pretty bad. I'm trying to. A lot of stuff on Mac is pretty bad. The Mac OS Finder is kind of garbage. Spotlight is also pretty bad on Mac. Yeah, there's a lot of not great software right now. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna get any better. Problem section or problem text. I don't know what to name this thing. So we want to say. Really, he thinks Finder and Spotlight. I don't know. I use Raycast on Mac. I think Raycast is a trillion times better than Spotlight. I'm not. Spotlight isn't terrible. I think it's way behind Raycast in my opinion. And Finder, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've used Windows for so long. I just find a lot of the shortcuts unintuitive and search to be terrible. I find it pretty annoying. I literally use a terminal all the time for most of my file management stuff on Mac. That I would say like the Mac Finder is a lot better than the Windows File Manager, to be honest. But Windows is entirely garbage, so that's me. It's not. That's expected. I see. I set it equal to first number. You know, I mean, to each their own. I think a lot of it is also like, well, I guess when it comes to like operating systems, I think a lot of it's probably preferences also what people are doing. I know a lot of game developers obviously use Windows because Windows is like the whole GPUs and stuff, and all the main game engines are all on Windows, so they're kind of forced to use that. So to them, Windows might be a better operating system. So it can be kind of relative in those cases, but I feel certain things like, companies like YouTube, for example, or even like Google now, Google search is a lot worse than it used to be. I think it's objectively obvious that the software is bad. So, I don't know. But I can definitely see how some people would like the way Mac OS stuff works. I just personally don't find it enjoyable. In general, I prefer Mac a lot more to in the entire operating system in comparison to Windows. Not as much as I like Linux, but Mac is pretty good. That's the first number. So we can basically just copy this. You hate Mac, really? This is fine. It hates the fire, yeah. Yeah, I guess matter of opinion. I guess for me, since I do mostly web dev, I kind of find Mac a little more enjoyable because it's based on Unix and you can use Bash and all those other things. Yeah, well, Linux is easily the best operating system I have used. Uh, I'll say the only problem is just it's not a lot of people use it, so you can't get all software in there. Like, for example, video editing. There are no video editors on Linux that are really any good, in my opinion. I know there's like Shotcut and stuff, but if you want like an actually good video editor like Premiere Pro or CapCut or DaVinci, it's pretty much almost impossible to get on there. In my experience, anyways. And that's the only problem I have with Linux. If I never created content or anything, or cared about those type of things, I probably just probably wouldn't use Windows at all. But, I think in the next, I feel like Linux is gaining a lot of traction right now, considering with all the stuff that's been going on with Windows and Microsoft. But the average individual is never going to use Linux, unfortunately. Happy underscore 323. Keep it up, bro. Thank you, sir. You were tuning into the stream. Appreciate that. So I really should just do it like this. Should be able to just do something like this, right? Or am I thinking too Python like? What am I building? Building a that did not work. I'm building a multiplayer version of this game called ZeniMac, where you can just do, man, that's a hard one. Where you can just do like math problems. I'm building it as my capstone project for boot.dev. To finish it, I did most of this last year, so I'm trying to actually finish the entire thing. So yeah, that's the current thing. 11 divided by 1040, or 1045 divided by 11. Be a 9, right? Yeah, I think it'd be 9, which would leave a 5. I think it'd be 95. Yeah, it's a hard one. Whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm making. Multiplayer version of that game. So you can't get catenate strings like this? Or is it because these things aren't strings? That's probably why. Kogai1, thanks for tuning in. Try LeetCode. I do need to do more LeetCode this year. I will not take up on that offer because I do not want to do LeetCode right now. I will be getting into that. But that school emoji is very appropriate. I don't know. I find when I practice LeetCode, I do find it somewhat enjoyable. I think the idea that you kind of have to do it to get a job is what makes it less enjoyable. I don't know. I feel like I enjoy LeetCode when I do it. Kick my ass. That happens to literally everybody, man. That most of my LeetCode interviews have been quite garbage with like some of the easiest problems I've ever seen. In the moment, it definitely is a lot worse. But yeah, I will be doing more LeetCode probably soon. Actually, I have a goal. I had a goal this year to do 350 LeetCode questions. So I kind of have to get on top of that at some point. Yeah, I think this is because it's a number. I can't just maybe question my existence. Yeah, I can feel that every single software engineer I think has been at that stage in their life. Hey, the question is this a string? I assume not. Oh yeah, it actually is adding. Okay. How do you typecast in JavaScript? All right, got to go. Thank you, Kyprix, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Have a good one, man. Have a good one. Good luck on your project as well. That's everyone's being smarter than you. I think it's always the case, and there's always gonna be people that are better than you in some aspect. I think you just gotta focus on like your own ability, and it's not important to be. You don't have to be the best in the world at anything. I'm definitely not the best in the world, but I somehow end up getting a job because I got lucky, I guess. So to me, that's I definitely use. I mean, I still do to some extent. I still do find myself compare myself to other people, but in general, I think it's a pretty bad mindset. To be in if you want to progress. What is happening? Sting is not defined. That is true. Yeah, keep practicing, man. That really is all LeetCode is. It's just pattern matching. It's like chess. Unlinked 2 on Twitch, actually. Thank you for tuning in on Twitch. Hey, hope you're well. Thank you. I'm doing great. How about yourself? The Twitch stream quality is like 1,000,000,000 times better than YouTube. I don't really know how to fix the YouTube quality. You're doing good too. That's great to hear. It's great to hear. Thanks for tuning in, man. Divine Bhakti Studio 88. Bro, McGarrett, tell me which coding I start first, bro. Oh, wait. Thank you, Only to following the channel. So I assume my alert is not working. I thought it was working. It clearly did not work. I guess I'll just fix that later. What am I working on? I will answer your question soon, Divine. I'm working on making a multiplayer version of this online math game. It's called ZeniMax. You just do these arithmetic problems as fast as you can. So I'm making a multiplayer version of this for my capstone project for boot.dev. Yeah. Yep. If you want more context, the very first stream I did has a bit more context near the beginning, but it's not necessarily that important. Later, I'll make a document or something that has all the answers to these questions. I just haven't really spent time on that. Okay, Mr. Divine. That is really depends on like what you want to do. Do you want to do web development like this to make websites? Then you should learn JavaScript and HTML and CSS. If you want to make video games, there's a lot of options for video games. Really code a video game in any language you want. But I would probably start with something like Python or Pygame because it's pretty simple. If you want to go into cybersecurity, you probably need to get into stuff like Wireshark and like Hack the Box and stuff like that. It really isn't that hard to find that information online. Just think about like what you want to do. Look up a guide like how to get into game development or how to get into web development, and if you'll find those things, and just put a lot of time in practicing, and you'll get there eventually. Okay, so this is something. Oh yeah, yeah, on YouTube as well. Thank you for hopping over here. There's not a lot of people watch right now, understandably, but there are probably more people in here in general. Appreciate the follow, by the way. I thought I had my alerts working, but I guess I did not set it up correctly. I'll have to figure that out later. Yeah, YouTube is where a lot more of my audience is because I've made videos on here for like almost not half a year, like 100 or so days. I made videos for my coding every day and my software engineer series. And we're starting again with our series. Hello, Vendanta Chari. What I said that right? What am I coding? I'm coding a multiplayer version of this game called ZeniMac. It's just online with the game. And just doing it for my own personal software development experience. I don't know the answer to this question, but yeah, I'm making a multiplayer version of this game. You can just solve like arithmetic problems. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. You can do anything you set your mind to it. Are you guys also in software engineering? You working software engineering jobs, computer science? I assume you know coding if you're tuning to a stream like this. Yes, I'm using NeoVim right now. Fully self-taught. Wow, that's very impressive. Only 2. That is very impressive. Actually, goated, to be honest with you. I am not self-taught. Went to school for 5 years. It took me 5 years to finally figure out how to get out because I'm not that smart. Yeah, I really wonder what's going to happen with self-taught coding these days. Because I feel like there's been an inflation of just CS degrees, a lot of which probably aren't really people that should be working in tech because they don't actually want to work in tech. I feel like that makes it harder for variable declaration. Makes it harder for self-taught people. But yeah, I think it's very impressive to. It takes a lot of resilience, something I did not really have. To make yourself do something like that for that long of a time. What is this thing talking about variable declaration? That's supposed to mean. There's a closing bracket. So it makes no sense. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, whatever path works, in my opinion, is also the best. Yeah, sorry. It really depends. It's all up to the individual, how much effort they want to put in. Uh, you could be a really smart CS student, hardworking, or you could be one that is not, and you can be a really smart self-taught person, or one that is not. So it really doesn't matter. And I personally, I wish degrees do not matter as much in a lot of fields, because I feel like some fields degrees are like the only way in. I think that's not the greatest approach. But whatever. I'm not going to get into all the politics dealing with that. Why is this not working? What? 0 cents. I mean, maybe it's working. I don't know why it's giving me. Oh, okay. Yeah. Floor. Yeah. There's an extra quote in there. Right? No, that's not the right. 1, 2. Yeah, there's too many now. There we go. Okay, so now random symbols are selected. And I believe we can just add that here. Go. This is probably not very good code, but I can always clean up later. Hey, so yeah, those are the random numbers now. Now we need to calculate the answer. So this is where I think the strings as symbols is not going to be a great idea. Maybe it's fine. I don't think it's fine. I mean, obviously you could do something to the effect of, or something like this. I would calculate in JavaScript. But this plus symbol right here is not a string. So I can't just put the string there. I need some way to calculate this. Certainly there's a way to just like, okay, you know what? Actually, I think okay, yeah. I don't think it's anywhere near as hard as I was thinking it was gonna be. So I could use a switch statement here actually. I really wonder how long Google is going to keep up this whole AI stuff on their page. There's no way this isn't costing like millions upon millions of dollars per month. I do find it kind of useful though. I just think there's no way it's not. It certainly has to be super expensive. So the case of a plus symbol. Want to do answer is equal to. We all just need to write bots that query search for search earliest things. Gonna stop real fast. I just need to write bots that query. Oh. Like yeah, right. Basically DDoS them on search. Yeah, that would make it stop pretty fast. There may already be people out there doing that. I feel like the general sentiment outside of like engineering and like Twitter is that people really dislike AI, which I'm not surprised by at all. Because the AI companies have not been really doing great PR, if we're being honest here. I don't think putting it default is necessary. At least from what I remember. I think you can just do this. Yeah, you don't have to put a default. So I'm just gonna console log it for right now. $78. Hey, that is not good. 87. That doesn't even make sense. How's 87 minus? Literally makes it. How is 87 minus 65? 1.33. Hmm. I'm getting 0.9375. Yeah, I thought that might be happening. Oh, I think I have to break, right? Yeah, I have to break. Not exercising the fundamentals. There we go. Now, I think another thing, because I'm pretty sure in their game they don't allow like decimals or anything. I don't think they allow negative numbers either. So you gotta have 50-year-old bad design switch case. The makes right break every time through. Yeah, that's the case in so many different random languages and programming features. I see people claim all the time. Casey Muratori is a big advocate of that. About how a lot of, especially in web development, a lot of code is designed poorly. I don't think I've been coding long enough to really feel the pains of all that. But I think at some point later in my career, I start to notice and think about why the world stuff is written like this. But I guess I didn't have any jurisdiction over that. So I need some guardrails. Let me commit first. I don't really even know what I was doing. Styling and generating problems. Okay, so we need to make sure that the first number generated if it's subtraction, right, it's always bigger than the second number. Otherwise, you get negative numbers. They thought Ian or Thayan. I think Thane is how you say that. 5217. Hello. Hello. Thank you for tuning to stream. Sorry if I butcher your name. Not necessarily known for good pronunciation. Thank you for tuning in. How are you doing today? Okay, it's getting pretty late. Yeah, I live in an apartment, so I don't want to wake up the people above me. In a little bit here, I might go to streaming silently. So I'm thinking of maybe having an if statement. So if we get a negative symbol, we then make sure the first number is... Oh, you're from Vietnam. Wow. I don't think I haven't met anyone from Vietnam. I don't think I've met anyone in my life from Vietnam before. I'm cool like you, but I think you're better than me. I highly doubt that, my friend. I'm not that great at software engineering. I have a lot to learn. There's a very high possibility that you're better than me. But at the end of the day, you know, to me, being better than one other person is not important. Whether or not you show up every day, you just stay consistent. It's you against yourself, right? Just against yourself. Very cool that you're from Vietnam, man. Can keep grinding out. I don't know what the state of Vietnam is right now, but hopefully it's good over there. Wait, it's a minus then. This is not good code. I thought it was like a dot equals function or something. Must be thinking about some other language. I basically just want to regenerate. We need this thing to keep going until it hits so that where it is. So I think we need to make a recursive function. LeetCode easy mode. I also am in the range of LeetCode easies, to be honest with you. For the last time I did LeetCode, think most of my problems are. Am I not logged in? Can I like drag it back? There we go. Yeah, I've only solved 88 legal problems. Vast majority are easy, so yeah, I think you're a bit better than me, man, in that aspect. You get back into this. What am I doing or where am I learning? Where are you learning? I currently working as a software engineer. I graduated last year in December with a computer science degree. So that's where I'd say I learned a majority of what I know about coding. And now I'm working. I work with Ruby and Spring Boot. What I'm working on right now, I'm making a multiplayer version of this game right here called ZeniMac. This math game where you just solve math problems. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm making a multiplayer version of this just as an own personal project of mine. I have a goal to create at least 10 personal projects this year. This is gonna be one of them. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. It's still less than the second number. I think we just run no negative numbers again. We just have base case, a first number, create a second number. Is it break? Is that how it works? Yeah, that's not how it works. It's return, obviously. Greater than or equal to. This is probably not good code. I feel like this could easily backfire. Wait, what using most university? Yeah, I did have data structuration algorithms. However, that does not involve necessarily doing leak code. So it's not like I don't understand DSA. I understand like pretty much all of the important DSA concepts. It's just that I'd never really practiced leak code until I was looking for jobs. I didn't have a very long time looking for jobs, so I didn't do that much leak code. So yeah, I did DSA in year 3, I think. I think that's my age. Don't remember. Like 2 year minus, yeah. Mine was only across one semester, so, or no, was it? Yeah, it was only across one semester. So it was like half a year that I did that class. But yeah, like all CS students do DSA. It's just that like a lot of CS students don't necessarily practice leak code. That's what I would say. This is also something we need to fix. We cannot be dividing by, cannot have decimal outputs. No decimal outputs. Okay, so obviously this does not work. Oh, because I'm not even running the function. Okay, this is now officially super bad code. Be surprised how many people I've seen who are great at LeetCode scores, but don't even know how a hash function works, or why I might want to pack my array, or why a linked list rules the cache. I have heard of that before. I've watched a lot of his YouTube channel named James Peralta, and he occasionally does have people that come on there and have solved like tons of LeetCode problems, but it appears they haven't really understood the concepts. By the way, this guy is the absolute goat. He's actually crazy. This guy's out here coding, doing code forces in Italy. He's supposed to be on vacation. But yeah, that is something you do have to be careful of if you're practicing LeetCode, because it's very easy to just get into the habit of like just doing a problem and look at a solution and copy pasting the solution and like not learning anything. So yeah, it's pretty, you have to really spend time doing it. And honestly, I think I currently have this book right here, Beyond Cracking the Coding Interview. I think it's a new version. I need to read through this entire thing. I've read like halfway through it, which the first part of the book is just, to be honest, in hindsight, I should just skip the first part of the book. It's just talking about like interviews and resumes and like negotiating salaries. It's kind of useless. The second part of the book has all this more in-depth stuff about all these problems. I think will help me understand. I definitely need to get through this entire book. So I think it's important to do stuff like that. Oh, okay, yeah, that's nice. That's also the same thing, the place where I work. I was asked a HackerRank problem. I didn't do very well in it, but they didn't really care because they thought my other stuff was pretty solid, like my database stuff. And in general, when I was talking about I was coding, it seemed like I understood concepts, which I think I do. Yeah, I think LeetCode is also kind of dumb in that aspect, though I do understand why it's done, especially at some of these larger companies where they have to screen individuals. But yeah, it's not really a great gauge of a good software engineer. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. If there's any other way to do something like that. Hey, it looked like it actually worked. I honestly only have approximately 400 employees worldwide. Dev team is just 5 right now. Wow, that's a really small dev team. I think it would be overkill. Yeah, that's probably true. There's no reason to send people through like 6 rounds of LeetCode, something like that. That's supposed to be pretty fun. You're probably doing most of the decision making when it comes to like features and stuff for the project. Our company is also like around 500 employees, I think. But our dev team is a lot bigger than 5 people. A very big dev team. I don't know how big it is, but it's probably close to 100 or so people. But yeah, I think that's probably the best thing if you can like sit down and talk to people, because a lot of work too is also EQ, emotional intelligence, not just how intelligent you are. I think you also have to figure out if someone's a good fit for the culture on your team. I definitely understand why some of those big companies do it. Oh, you make hardware, okay. Yeah, our company is definitely more of a software company. Do a lot of software stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. And hardware is something I know little to almost nothing about. I didn't really learn that at school, but it sounds pretty fun. I follow George Hotz pretty actively, that hacker guy who owns a tiny grad company. Do you have a test job at some company? Have a lecture in final year called real based job test. Not exactly sure what you're getting at there. I work as a software engineer, if that's what you're trying to ask. He just wrote a blog today. You cannot even predict. Thank you for tuning in the stream. Bro, you're already cracked. I am not cracked. I don't know if you've seen some of the people out here that code. Like, you had to draw like a totem pole, like skill. I am really down the ladder. So let's say, damn, what is this? Yeah, just get rid of that. Alright, start drop it where. Let's say prime is right here. The prime gen. I say it's right here on this totem pole. It's very high up the totem pole. I'd say someone like here. Probably, what is that? John Terry? Not John Terry, that's the soccer player. Man. I watched him with soccer. It's a game in Germany before graduation. You have to do a mandatory internship at a university. I think oh, okay. Yeah, for the US, I had no idea that was a thing. You have to do a mandatory internship at a university. That's pretty nice. We did have internships here, but I think they've all been filled up already. I met a lot of the interns this week. Yeah, man. Mr. Yukon, thank you for tuning in. I'm not cracked. Even the slightest. John Carmack, that's the name. Carmack is somewhere over here. Well, actually, no. Carmack is like way up here. Actually, goated. Like me, I'd say the average software engineer is like down here. For being honest, like the people that work at like Google and stuff probably aren't as good as Prime, but decent enough. And there's people like like good CS students or like cracked CS students. Like cracked CS. Well, actually, I wouldn't put them that low. I actually put cracked CS like up here. I'm talking about people that like went to MIT and stuff, you know. Cracked CS. Then I'd say bad CS students are like way down here. You know, people that use ChatGPT for everything. I'd say I'm like somewhere like over here, probably. So yeah, this is where I say I'm on that list. So I still have a long way to go, in my opinion. This is all arbitrary, but what I'd say. Living long life, but it's not a game, it's a real life job. The university provides for all students to try a real job feel like. Be good enough you can work at like an official job. Okay. Yeah, I watch a couple of devs in Finland that make like day in life videos, and I think they have something similar at their universities. But we do have some universities in the U.S. that do that, like MIT and like and Waterloo. I think Cornell as well. Or Waterloo's in Canada actually. Never mind. Uh, and there's some other top CS schools that have like internship programs, but the school I went to did not. So I actually never had an internship in my experience. That was mainly my fault because I didn't try like at all. A lot of my college years were wasted on playing video games. Yeah, I never had an internship, but I got hired luckily right after I graduated, which it was just pure luck, and I'm really grateful for that. So I'm trying to make the most of it by learning to be better at coding, which is going to be a long haul. It's going to take me a while, but you know, good things don't come overnight. Okay. I want to see if this is actually working. Oh, it's not really a program. You just have to find a place for yourself. So is it, currently employed students are about to graduate. So is it like it's like class, I suppose? Like you're expected to find an internship, basically. It's not like you're placed in like a pool, but I mean, real based job test. Oh, okay. I don't think this is what you're talking about. Okay, Google. Um, Very nice. I absolutely speak German. Oh, I'm not even going to pronounce this. Praxis semester. Praxis semester. Or I am not going to try to say that. I'm gonna absolutely butcher that. Okay, mandatory full special internship. Okay. Okay, I see. So yeah, it's basically very interesting. This would be kind of cool if we had this here, because there are. Oh, I said 100% right. Okay, thank you for that. I'm glad I didn't offend all the Germans today, or any Germans watching this VOD. That's fair. I use AI for code when I answer. Yeah, I just sat there questioning how the code works. Try the simple example. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Actually, that's pretty much exactly what I do. Um, I think I think at this point, I don't think you should be avoiding AI unless you're like actually a brand new person to coding. And it's like your first line of the code. I still think it's very important to like write code yourself, because I think there's some muscle memory to it. So I think it's very important to understand like what you're doing. You can't just rely on AI because it's not perfect. So yeah, I think it's a very good idea. That's why I try and do. I try and not let AI, or if AI gives me an answer, I try and make sure it explains it. PTM Lewis, hi from Australia. Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate that. Um, but yeah, it's definitely hard. I've met and worked with a lot of people in CS that use AI in the wrong way and just have it answer all their problems for them, and they end up not really learning anything. It's not very good. I think it's gonna be a big problem in the future. If AI still keeps going the way it is. They've written like 2 lines of code in the past couple minutes, but it's all good. I'm pretty sure this is working, but yeah, I think it is. What? Okay. I saw a black flash there. Okay, it's working. Still looks like a code. It's like I noticed all the problem. When I turn to code, I just stuck. It kind of just bad. I'm questioning reality that am I really coding? So yeah, I think I kind of relate with that a little bit. I remember when I was kind of my last years of school, I felt that quite a bit. That sometimes it's like it's like I knew the general I kind of knew the general ideas like solving a problem, but I didn't know how to like break up into, I would say, like lower level concepts that I can like look up on Google. So say I don't know, say I need to make like a coin collecting system in a game. It would be hard for me to like break that up into, I would need like a collision system to figure out when my player would hit the coin, XYZ thing, all these different components. I think you just get better over time. And after I started working, it became a lot easier for me to see how all the puzzle pieces connected. I think when you're working in kind of a sandbox environment, like with smaller projects, you don't really see that as easily as when you see it working like a massive code base. So it really just takes a long time, I think. I think people that think that coding is easy are like being extremely facetious. It's quite a difficult career in my opinion. takes a long time to really generate that type of problem solving ability. So don't beat yourself up, man. You'll definitely get there. Just practice every day. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough for the AI will replace you. I think both those things are vastly incorrect for different reasons, but I'm not going to go into that. I usually do most of the initial reviews on our team. I would die on the hill that I will personally read every line of code that we merge. Go the way. That's no you give her a failing. Yeah, I agree. Give her. That is great. But you should definitely keep on doing that. I do my best to read code at work as well, but I feel like I don't have the experience yet to be that useful. Yeah, we need people to actually review code because it's very easy to commit slop. Writing code is easy. Writing good code that is robust is very hard. I completely agree with that. That is like literally my biggest problem at work right now. I feel like I always know how to solve a problem, but can I write the code that's good in a readable way, like I know is future proof? That is a completely different problem. Similar to how writing a book with millions of words is easy, making those millions of words to a readable story is hard. Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's the problem with AI coding, in my opinion. I think it just writes code 90% of the time. It works. It pretty much almost always works, especially now. The models are really good. So they write very good code, but if you actually sit down and read the code, it's typically terrible. There's lots of fallbacks. There's lots of nested functions, helper functions as well, and it's very bad to read. And a lot of times, especially if they don't have good context of the code base, they'll write code that will break other things, other config files or other templates of code that other code is using. And the AI doesn't know that, so it just writes code that breaks it. I've caught that multiple times with a codex at work. So yeah, it's very important to have experienced engineers at your company right now to make sure that AI isn't writing slop, because it really just writes slop. I have a lecturer that recently got added to our school. He's about to get up Copilot and MCP agents. That's interesting. Yeah, we got to use Copilot as well in some of my web development classes. My teacher gave us tips on how. That's good. Yeah, my teachers gave us tips as well. I think me and only my friend were the only people that followed them, but and a couple other people. But yeah, you should take those tips. That's good. That I think it is important for schools to. It's gonna be pretty hard to try and regulate AI, but yeah, I think what you're doing is great. Don't fall into the trap of making AI solve all your stuff for you. It's much better to use less AI if you can. If there's a lot of human read code base, yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. Our code base at work is not pretty at all. So yeah, I mean that's where it came from, right? Like AI is trained on all our data, and most of the data on GitHub is absolutely garbage. So you just spitting out garbage code. But yeah, I think I would say one thing is like the scale is definitely a lot bigger because AI can go a lot faster. But yeah, I guess especially in web development, it was already a dying ship. It's just going down even faster now. Code and software was already bad in the web, and now it's just going to get way worse. But yeah, I'm trying to get better. It's really hard as like a newer engineer because like it feels like everybody is telling you to use AI. Like we have a lot of AI stuff happening at work right now as well. But like if I'm trying to learn stuff, I feel like using AI is just not the greatest idea. Because even if you're not making it write your code, or you're not like, attempting to just take all its ideas, if you just ask the questions, it's like, it shows you like one or two answers. In your mind, you get kind of like fixated on that. And if you don't know any better, like, I'm not sure you're supposed to look at things in a different light if you don't already have experience. Like the only way you gain experience is by doing it yourself. So I do feel kind of weird about that as a newer engineer, about how AI is being pushed in the industry right now. I wonder if I'll ever get to the level that some engineers are at, if I'm kind of, required to use it. But that's kind of one of the reasons I do this, because I just want to, sit down and write code myself without having to think about, having to use AI. Yeah, I agree. You see the good process of finding a good solution. Yeah, you see the process of really thinking in general anytime you ask AI a question, which probably isn't good. So yeah, I still, in my opinion, have not found a optimized way of using AI. And it's kind of weird because I think it'd be great for learning. Like, if you can figure out a way to make it explain things to you in the way that maybe you didn't understand before, that would be great. But like, are you doing it the right way? Are you using it too much? Are you like having explained pretty much everything? You're not thinking at all. Like, it feels like there's no way to find a balance. I've always done that too. Though, I like having a personal out of work code base that are related to what I do daily. That way I find new issues. That's something I'm not doing right now because I'm still doing web development here. But yeah, that is, I think, a good advice. You should always be versatile and adapting to things, and like have a wider skill set in your toolbox. Because like coding the same thing over and over again is not going to help you, I think, for the most part. Like coding a mobile app like 20 different times with the same framework and stack, I don't think it's going to teach you anything. So yeah, I think the best engineers do that in their free time. They code. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And this code is slow. I think I'll fix this later. Man, I have not written like 5 lines of code. Hey, so I think we have this solved. Now the problem is we need to make sure that when dividing, we're not getting decimal values. So it needs to divide evenly. So how do you find if a number divides evenly into? I mean, we could technically just look at the answer and check if it's a decimal. But I feel like that's kind of ridiculous. Okay, that is not great. I'm probably gonna get DMCA now. Why did it stop? This track is 55 hours long. Was that still the same playlist? Oh, it is. Hopefully that is NCS. Oh, last year I wrote an assembler for the Game Boy. Now I'm running a game with it, which is so related to work. Wow. I'm in a happy place. That is so cool, actually. I never got to play on the Game Boy when I was a kid. The earliest console I had was a PS1, which was pretty fun. But yeah, that is super cool. I would love to get a Game Boy one of these days. Rob Hachadav 4848. Yo, thank you for doing this stream. Nice to meet you. I want a Python language from scratch. So can you help me? Unfortunately, I don't think I have all the time required to teach you personally how to learn Python. And to be honest with you, all the learning that you would ever get is going to be on your own in coding. I don't think a lot of people really learn from mentors in this field. I would advise you to look at tutorials, follow them, build your own projects, take it one step at a time. There's so much content out there about coding. So, fortunately, I don't think I can help you in that specific aspect. Apparently, it's still NCS. Okay, let me actually see if I can solve this. Because if we just keep generating random numbers, I mean, technically every number has something that needs to be random. Have a project using EMU8086 to build a simple A plus B return 0 and 1 bit in hex bit. I have no idea what EMU8086 is. Oh, it's a microprocessor emulator. Simulates behavior as 18. Oh. Project that I decided to sign up to my lecture. It's pretty interesting. So you're basically simulating the process of building a CPU. So I'm guessing. It's a pretty interesting project. I really don't know that much about this type of stuff, but that's pretty tough stuff, man. You're not giving yourself enough credit. Like, I have no idea how that works. So you're better than me. Okay. It's 12 a.m. Let me see if I can make some progress on this. Still first year right away. Yeah, I was not doing that. My first year computer science. I was goofing off. I was playing soccer and doing other stuff. You're making great progress, man. You think it'll be fine? It'll be fine as long as we don't as long as someone doesn't come up with AGI or something. In which case, all of us will be unemployed. But I highly doubt that will happen. So I need to find a way to make division always be even, or come out to be, I don't even know what to call it, like an even division or whatever, just no decimals. I can't check if it's a decimal number and keep generating numbers until it hits. That seems kind of intensive. It's like a huge amount of numbers just don't divide evenly. Maybe it's not that bad. Let's try and see if it just breaks no decimal. So I think it's gonna be very similar to this, where it's like, well, it's gonna be a bit different because we're gonna check the actual check the answer value. Oh, modulus actually. Thought there might be. Well, actually, if modulus 1 is equal to 0, this is the base case that we. Um, SMIC's class has 4 projects, 1 for object-oriented programming, 1 for the project, 1 for the project. I just tell 1 for how to install MCP and GitHub Copilot to teach a class, 1 for writing a report using IEE. That's the international something. Still first year, that's nice, man. Yeah, I forgot what this Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. That's cool, man. Your school is making you do some pretty cool things. I definitely don't have all that at my institution. 1 is not equal to 0. And you should basically just regenerate numbers again. I'm using my mouse. I'm not supposed to be using my mouse. I don't think this is necessary, actually. Hey, so I think this will work. Cool. So DTHU. Okay. Wow. Oh, it has pretty high Google reviews actually. Very interesting. Pretty cool, man. Dong Thop University. Yeah, it looks really nice. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. It's pretty nice. Let's see if this is working. Yeah. I think I might call it after this. Pretty late. I went to a constant variable. How is answer a constant variable? Oh. Okay, so that how about the answer is 0? Is there floor division in JavaScript? I know there's floor division in Python. Yeah, but we don't even want to do that. Because this is still not. Just check it. Why is. Why is the answer coming back at 0? Okay, one thing, okay. I think I'm looking at the wrong numbers here, actually. trying to learn how to code EMU 8086 this afternoon. So I should get used on how you're doing. You're doing a calculator. What the problem is, I don't know how to show on the web what you're doing. Oh, showing on the web is just HTML and CSS. You can look that up. Yeah, good HTML and CSS stuff. I wanted to learn that fast. Where would I go? I'm thinking the older project is not that fast. Oh, honestly, if you really want to learn website stuff, I think there's some, at least there used to be. Yeah, there's some free courses here. HTML. To be honest, it's probably better just to look up a YouTube video on HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Yeah, those are languages for making websites. Like this video right here, Dev Dojo would be a pretty good one. Or Bro Code. Hopefully this works. Okay, yeah, it did work. So yeah, this took forever. Yeah, I think there needs to be a more efficient way to do this. I think for tonight, I'm pretty done. I want to keep up my neighbors. Find more efficient way to do this. Alright guys, thank you for tuning into stream. I will be streaming tomorrow. I don't know when. I think I'm gonna hang out with one of my friends. So it might be a later stream. But thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Keep on grinding. Have a good night or a good day for those of you across the sea. Peace out.